Hey man, I know it's been a minute, and I don't even know if you still check this email, but I have to get this out. I can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I hear the damn thing breathing. What I'm about to tell you, I swear on my mother's grave, actually happened. This isn't some messed up Warhammer 40k scenario I cooked up. This is real. It happened last summer. I've kept quiet until now, thinking I could move on, but it's eating at me. So here goes. My name's Nick Mortensen. You remember, I'm that stubborn bastard from Mississippi, swinging an axe for a living. My wife Clara always says I'm walking cliché, flannel beard, and a dog named Rex. He's a mutt, probably half lab, half tank. Good dog, loyal as hell. So last July, me and 3 buddies from the timber yard, Joel, Curtis and Davey, decided we needed to get out of the heat and take a trip. Joel's family owns a patch of land in Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest up in northern Wisconsin. Miles of thick trees, boggy trails and good game. We figured we'd hunt, drink a little and breathe air that didn't smell like chainsaw oil. It was raining when we arrived, that thick curtain-like summer rain that turns dirt into soup. We didn't care. We parked the trucks near an old ranger station that was half collapsed and hiked in about 2 miles to set up camp. Tarps, tents, firewood, the usual. Rex followed close, tail wagging, ears twitching. We were set for 5 days. Just 4 guys, their guns, and the dog. On the second night, I heard it. We just finished dinner. Davey cooked venison from a kill earlier that day, and we were sitting by the fire talking trash and sipping warm beer. The rain had eased to a drizzle. I'd taken Rex into the woods to relieve himself, flashlight in one hand, revolver on my hip, just in case. Always carried it, habit, more than anything. That's when I heard the breathing. It wasn't Rex. He was stiff, hackles up, nose pointed into the dark, like a compass needle. Then I heard something moving, low to the ground, fast. Something big and wet, prowling just beyond the reach of my light. I called out, "Hey, who's there?" No answer. Just the crunch of twigs. Then silence. I slowly backed up toward the camp, Rex glued to my leg. The moment we stepped into the firelight, he growled, deep and guttural. He kept looking back, refusing to sit. Joel joked it was probably a bear or a bobcat, but I've seen bears, I've heard bobcats. This was different. Next morning, Curtis, the only one of us who actually grew up in Wisconsin, mentioned something that made my blood run cold. You ever hear those stories about the Beast of Bray Road? He asked, casually slicing jerky. Old local legend, werewolf type thing. Seen around Elkhorn, but folks say it's wandered. Said to walk like a man, but run like a wolf. Big bastard, red eyes, eats deer, dogs, and sometimes more. I laughed it off, but I was thinking about the way Rex had acted, how silent the woods had gone, not even birds chirped. Then things got worse. Night 3. Rain turned to a thunderstorm. Trees swayed. The fire barely held. We'd rigged our tarp lean too tight, but the wind howled like banshee. That's when Davey vanished. One moment he was stoking the fire. Next we heard a scream, sharp, short, cut off, like a rope snapped mid-tug. We jumped up, flashlights flying. His chair was empty, rifle on the ground. No blood, no tracks in the mud, just drag marks leading into the trees. Rex bolted after the trail, barking wildly. I yelled, but he was gone into the darkness. We chased after him, me, Joel and Curtis, adrenaline ripping through us. I had my 357 drone, Joel carried his old bolt action, and Curtis had a hunting knife like Rambo's. After about 200 feet, we found Davy's boot. Just his boot, torn at the ankle like something yanked it off. No foot inside, thank God, but then we saw it. The print. It looked canine, like a wolf, but massive, easily the size of a dinner plate, deep in the mud, with claws, and the thing had walked upright. I don't care how it sounds, it had 2 feet, spaced like a man's gait. Rex came back then, tail between his legs, limping, blood on his side, 3 long gashes. We carried him back, silently. Joel kept muttering prayers under his breath. We couldn't sleep, didn't even try. We kept the fire stoked and took shifts standing guard. At around 3 a.m, I heard it again, the breathing, heavy, wet, wrong. Curtis whispered, "There," and pointed toward the trees. I saw it, tall, hunched, with grey fur matted against soaked skin. Its arms were too long, fingers tipped in claws. Its eyes glowed red in the firelight. It stood just beyond the trees, breathing, watching. Then it took a step forward. I fired. Joel fired. The bullets hit. I saw tufts fly from its chest, but it didn't go down. It roared. An ungodly, layered sound like wolves and men screaming at once. Then it charged. Rex lunged first, bit its arm. It threw him aside like a rag doll. Joel swung his rifle like a bat. Curtis stabbed it in the side. It was chaos. Somehow we managed to blind it with the flashlights and wounded it enough to drive it off. Or maybe it just got bored. Either way, it vanished into the storm. We didn't stick around. Grabbed what we could, guns, Rex, first aid, and moved as fast as we could into the dark. We didn't speak. We didn't breathe. Just crept, single file, until the sky began to lighten. We made it back to the ranger station around dawn, broken, soaked, bleeding. Rex limped but stayed close. Good boy. Saved our damn lives. We never found Davy. And the authorities? They searched, sure, but no body, no blood. They chalked it up to a bear or a rogue mountain lion. Probably fell in a ravine, they said. Right. They didn't see the tracks, the eyes, the damn thing's face. I won't go back, none of us will. Joel drinks more now. Curtis won't talk about it. Rex? He still flinches at thunder. Me? I stick to my lumber mill, paint my miniatures at night, and sleep with a shotgun under my bed. If you ever hear anyone talking about strange things in the woods up north, believe them. And if you hear breathing when you're alone in the trees, run. I know this is going to sound nuts, but I need to tell someone who won't laugh me out of the room. I haven't told anyone except my brother, and even he looked at me like I'd taken one too many blows to the head. You've always had a thing for creepy stories and weird lore, right? Well, buckle up. This is real. It happened, and I still can't quite explain how I made it out. My name's Henry Callahan, born and raised in Terre Haute, Indiana. You know, where the winters cut like a razor and the corn never stops growing. My old man was a steel worker. My mom worked in a school cafeteria, and I spent most of my time throwing punches into heavy bags or watching 80s action flicks until my eyes went square. I fight in MMA, not big league, regional, circuits mostly. Pays the bills, keeps me in shape, gives me a reason to stay sober and out of jail. I was driving back from a fight in Duluth, Minnesota. Took home a second round TKO. Nothing flashy, but I was in a good mood. Weather was unseasonably warm for spring, bright sun, blue sky, not a cloud in sight. I was cutting down through Wisconsin, taking the back highways for some peace. That's when I pulled over at this dusty little gas station, just past Black River Falls. You know the type. Rusted sign gate, old analog pump meters, a grizzled old dude behind the counter who looks like he fought in 3 wars and lost all of them. That place looked like it hadn't been touched since the late 70s. I just wanted to stretch my legs, grab an energy drink, and take a piss. Didn't expect to meet something out of a damned nightmare. So, I'm walking around the side of the building to take a leak. The inside bathroom was out of order, of course it was. When I got this feeling, like I was being watched. Not the usual unease, but the skin on the back of your neck starts sweating kind of dread. I looked toward the tree line. Thick woods all around, just like most of Wisconsin. That's when I saw movement. It was subtle, just a shape between 2 birch trees. Tall, slender, not moving, not breathing, just there. The branches didn't sway, but the shadows did. I couldn't even tell you how I knew it was watching me, but I felt it, man. I felt it. I didn't say anything to the old guy inside, just bought my stuff, got back in my truck and drove off, but not before catching one last glimpse in my rearview mirror. Same shape, just standing in the woods like a damn statue. About 20 minutes later, I hit a detour sign. Country road was washed out from the winter melt, so I had to reroute through some Forest Service roads. That's where it started to mess with me. Radio fuzzed out, GPS glitched. Every turn I took somehow led me deeper into the woods. I swear, I passed the same burned out log 3 times. Trees looked closer each time, like they were tightening around me. Sunlight was still strong, but the woods? Dark, unnatural. Then I saw the figure again, standing by a crooked pine, just off the road. Same height, same sickly thin body. Antlers. Antlers, like broken branches fused to a skull. I hit the gas, truck tore around the bend, tires screeching. My pulse was thumping like I was back in the octagon, around 5. But then, the road ended, just ended, straight drop off into a ravine. I swerved, clipped a boulder, blew a tire. The truck slammed into a fallen tree, and I just sat there for a second, heart trying to punch its way out of my chest. That's when I heard it. Something skittering on the roof, light, precise, like talons, and then a whisper, clear as day. Hungry. I grabbed the crowbar from behind my seat and bolted. I made for the woods. Not smart, I know, but the road was blocked, and whatever it was knew where I was. I figured my only shot was to move quiet, fast and unpredictable. I grew up hunting whitetail. I know how to walk silent when I need to. Every footfall placed with care, every breath held. The forest around me was dead silent. No birds, no insects, just that creeping feeling that I was being herded. When I saw it again, not directly, just shadows behind me, a branch snapping way off to the left, a flicker of movement to the right, like it wanted me to know it could catch me anytime it wanted. But it didn't. It was playing. The Wendigo. Yeah, I know what it is now. I remembered some trashy yellow press tabloid I picked up in a truck stop years ago. Man-eating demon of the northern woods. I thought it was Bigfoot's meth-head cousin back then. I believe it now. They say Wendigos were once men, driven to cannibalism in desperate winters. Now they stalk the woods, cursed, insatiable, and they are clever. They like the hunt. I found an old ranger cabin, barely standing, but it had 4 walls and a roof. I ducked inside, slammed the door, shoved a broken desk in front of it. I sat in the corner with a crowbar and the rusted flare gun I found in the drawer. I could hear it circling outside, breathing, scraping claws across the woods like it was savoring the moment. Then, silence. I waited, hours maybe, and just as night started creeping in, just before the light faded for good, I took my shot. I ran, didn't think, just ran. Every bone screamed, every nerve told me it was right behind me, but I didn't stop. And somehow I made it back to the road. A sheriff's deputy found me walking barefoot and bruised along county road. Oh, said I looked like I'd seen a ghost. Truck's gone. Sheriff said the road didn't end where I claimed. They went out there, but there was no cabin either. I didn't argue, just thanked him and left. I haven't been back to Wisconsin since. Hell, I won't even drive through it. You ever feel something watching you in the woods? You leave. Don't blink, don't talk. And whatever you do, don't run in a straight line. Anyway, I've got a fight coming up in Vegas next month. I'll send you tickets if you want. Maybe we can catch a movie afterward. As long as it's not horror. I've had enough of that to last a lifetime. Stay safe out there.